Yo, um, today is the second video I'm gonna be making, and for this video, I'm gonna be talking about what is the reason for anything. That is something I think about a lot, which is kind of weird because I feel like if you think about this question a lot, you end up kind of lost. Because at the end of the day, I feel like there's not actually a reason for anything. So I personally believe that basically we were raised from like monkeys and stuff, I guess. And then we continue to grow until we started to develop a more comfortable way of living. And I believe that it grew from the monkeys to like the Homo sapiens or whatever, and they eventually started realizing that the best way for humans to live with each other is to trade things so that they benefit both parties. So like they started trading horses for whatever, carrots or whatever they did. This is not to talk about that. I'm just saying that I feel like humanity eventually started evolving, and then we started noticing issues, and then we also had issues with each other, which made all the civil wars and the great wars in general, the first two wars and Cold War and whatever. And we continued to develop, and we kind of reached a point in current society where we can evolve further for sure, and we are continually like creating more things. But I feel like most human beings don't actually have a point in living anymore. I feel like when we were in the start of our evolution, we had to fight to survive. We had to go out and fight animals, and then we had to find a way to cook meat, and we found fire and everything. And like nowadays you kind of just go to school to have a job so that you have money, and it kind of just evolved to this point of which is just everything relies on money. And if you have money, then you live basically free, except not really, but kind of. And if not, then basically the entire point of your existence is to get money so that you can do the things that you want, I think. But it's more complicated than that. I think something that I've written in the past that I'm gonna share is that I feel like the reason for people to live can be shared in 4 parts, and I'm gonna be just talking out of my head mostly. Some of this I've written, but I've never really shared it with anybody. This is just something I think about. I think there's 4 kinds of ways to live. So the first form would be the humans that believe that the point of living would be just to live. So not necessarily like a reason. You just live because it's the best thing you can do is just live until you die, and there's nothing else to think about. A portion of people that I think are in this pool of people that live to live are people that have no other choice but to try to live, and that's the best thing they can think of. I think of people like the old age of human beings, like I talked about before. They feel they're more than happy with just being able to survive, and that's it. And another example is, for example, I think there's someone I know in real life that is happy with just seeing people be happy, and that's enough for them. And sometimes that's all you need. And I think that's fair. Reason to live is to live for others. I think that's a fair way to live as well. That's just one category of the first kind of people, the people who live to live. These are the more abstract people. They're mostly the people that I don't think fit in the other three. And this person that I know really does not fit in the other three at all. I'm going to talk about that further a bit. The second kind of people are the people that want to leave their mark in the world. They're the kind of people that generally have this permanent idea that they want to conclude, that they want to achieve, and they do everything to do that, to get that to happen. One person that I think that fits this is, like, for example, like Bobby Fischer. I don't know if he fits exactly, but like he's a person that did everything to become the greatest chess player, and he even played against himself a lot, and he did do that. He actually became like the world champion, and kind of seemed like he lost himself afterwards. And that's something that I feel like is kind of big for people of this kind. They kind of, they live their entire world to achieve this. For Bobby, for example, was to become the greatest, and he really did become the greatest. But after becoming the greatest, what was left? That's the question, right? It's like another kind of person that I think fits in this way is like Einstein. Einstein is kind of the person that studied a lot and just wanted to learn more of the world, and he really just became extremely fixated on this thing. I don't actually know much about Einstein, I'm gonna be honest though, so that's just my idea. But these are more like big things. Like, I'm not saying that you have to create the cure of this disease or be the greatest at something to fit in this category. I think that mostly just people that, they want to make $1 million in 5 years. It's a kind of personality. So basically, we have the first category, which are the people that live to live, and the second are the people that live to make their mark in the world, or they live because they want to see this big goal they have achieved. I just want to say real quick that I think basically every human being has all four categories. They just lean towards one more, I would say, generally. So basically we have the third category as well, which are the people that believe in religion, that their point to live is because of this religion. For example, like Christians that believe in God and believe that after they die they're gonna resurrect in the heavens and live forever and stuff. And I know someone like that as well, that he lives believing in the afterlife and stuff. I think that's also fair. That's something interesting about this, because it's like, if you don't believe in afterlife, then life itself becomes little do and little sad to live when you think about it. If you think about it, like, that there's another reason to live, that there's something bigger, I feel like life becomes better. And that's kind of why religion is a thing in the first place. I think even if religion turns out to be wrong and there's no God, I think people who are religious wouldn't regret what they did, because they actually lived happier thinking that there is a God and that there is afterlife or whatever, if resurrecting another person, or whatever kind of thing you believe in. I think it's fine to believe in those things, because like I said, I believe more so that there's actually no point to anything, and we just die and that's it. And it's just disturbing, But yeah, those are the other reasons. So we have the people who live just to live, which is again more abstract. I just don't. It's more so just the people that don't fit in the other three. Then we have the people that want to leave their mark in the world. Then the people who believe in religion of some sort. And then fourth, I put the people who live for entertainment. The people who sacrifice, for example, like 8 hours of their day to, after their work day is done, they go watch football, or they go drink and meet their friends and go to party, or like they work a lot during the entire week, and then during the weekend they go to parties and they get crazy, or they work on this other project. Maybe it's like a person that is like half and half, leaving their mark in the world and half living for the entertainment, kind of. So like, I think I kind of fit in this, but I'm kind of getting out of my line here. Let me go back. So the people who live for entertainment. I know somebody that, for example, has lived to leave their mark and then went to entertainment because he wanted to get big, and then after he got big, he kind of had no other thing to do, so he enjoyed getting big and enjoyed the rewards of getting big and used those for entertainment. So he kind of is a person that lives half and half for those, half for entertainment and half to leave their mark on the world. So I think those are 4 ways to live. I think that the point of anything has to be connected to one of these 4 things. In a way, the first one doesn't explain anything actually, but the other 3 do. You're doing these and you're living in general because you want to leave a mark in the world. You want to do this big thing. You want to see what happens when you achieve this thing that you've been thinking of for so long. Or you live and you do anything because your religion tells you that it's the right thing to do. You believe that if you, for example, like hurt somebody, that's against your religion. You're against your very will. You're against your everything that you believed for the start of your life until this point. So you're against that. It's not a good thing for you. And then you live for entertainment. Anything you do is because you want to entertain yourself, because you think, oh, I'm gonna do this big trip in the week at the end of the year, so I'm gonna save up until then, and it's gonna pay off. It's all those months of work. They're gonna, like, 11 months of work are worth for 1 month of going to this place I've never been in that I've dreamed of for so long. Those are the 4 ways of living. I think those are the points of living in general, and I think that it's okay to not know which one of the 4 you believe in the most. I'm going to talk about myself. I think that for most of my life, I've lived mostly for the 4th. I think I'm like maybe 10% religion, because I'm like agnostic. I kind of believe in a higher being, but sometimes I have a lot of issues with religion, but I'm not going to talk about that here because it's just, I think it's disrespectful to people who do believe in religion, and I totally understand why it is, and I just don't think it's the right thing to talk about in a video like this, and it's also, off topic. But yeah, I think it's like 10% religion. I think I'm like 50% entertainment even, because I just watch so many movies and like so much. I listen to so much music. I like to read. I like to every time I'm not doing something, I'm actually doing something, basically. You know what I mean? Like I'm searching for something to watch, something to read, and I just enjoy that. I just enjoy things that are created by humans. I think like a good movie is so interesting to me, because I think, wow, it's someone who's a human being like me actually created this masterpiece. That's awesome. And I remember, like, when I was a kid, I remember my brother telling me, my brother told me, like, it's awesome how much you can enjoy yourself by just being alone. It's also kind of sad that he tells me that, because it would be better if I actually socialize, which is a vital part of being a human, but it is what it is. um, not that I don't socialize when necessary, but regardless, and not that I'm super weird about it. Anyway, the point is, I think I live mostly for entertainment. I think, again, 50% entertainment, 10% religion, and then like I don't really fit on the first one, because I think, again, the first one is just mostly for people who don't fit in the other three. I think actually most people fit in all three, and the first one are mostly people. I'm gonna be real. Actually, the first one is mostly for people that I don't think fit in the other three, that I don't know how to classify. That's more like it. I think it's more so like, for example, like people who just were born, dehydrated and die because they never were able to drink anything. Like kids that were abandoned, they don't fit in the other three. They're just living to live. Best case they survive, worst case they die, and that's it. Or like a more extreme example, like, or I guess not extreme, but just like a person that was born during the war, and they lived their entire life in fear of that and of just trying to survive, and they manage to get through that, and they have a family, and that's it. And I mean, having a family is awesome and stuff, and don't get me wrong, it's just they never were looking for entertainment, they're never looking for religion too much, and they were never looking to make their mark, just looking to survive. I don't know, the first one is so hard to talk about, but regardless, I don't think I fit in the first at all. I think it's 50% entertainment again, and 10% religion, and then maybe 30% leaving the mark in the world. Now, one thing I realized is that the more I grow up, the more I'm actually feeling like I am more so the person that wants to leave a mark in the world. And that's also kind of why I'm making these videos, because I think that they are interesting to me, like looking back and thinking, wow, I made a video every day for 10 years. Like, what am I even going to talk about? What's going to happen? I don't think much is going to happen. I don't think these videos are going to get many views, but getting to your computer and talking for like 10 minutes every day for 10 years, I think will change me in some way big. And I want to see what happens with that. I want to see, if I become a person that's able to talk a lot about anything. And I think that's a big quality if I could actually get that. And I think that is possible. But anyway, going back, I'm kind of going off again. Just the more I grow up, the more I'm realizing that I am kind of like 70%. No, that's way too much. Like 50% when I meet a mark, and like 40% entertainment. I think I'm actually way more interested in creating things that people find cool, that I actually have a lot of I'm happy with. I feel honor of being the person that created that thing. That's what I'm looking for more so than anything right now. I had this group project last year, actually a couple months ago, and my group basically did nothing, and I just said, fuck, I'm not gonna get a bad grade on this, I'm just gonna make it myself. And I basically made the entire thing by myself. And then we showed up, and I basically also did the presentation by myself. And like when the teacher was listening to me, it was very nerve-wracking, but after other people started looking at it, I felt so good, because I was like, damn, people are actually interested in this thing that I made by myself. And I've always felt these kind of things. And I also know by my personality that I am very like a creative person that wants to show what they can do. And I feel like that's something that I need to follow more, that I will follow more. And I don't know, I think that I don't want to go too much further on this because it's just me talking about myself now, but that's it. Those are the points. I think the point of anything has to be in these four categories. Living to live. The point of anything is just to do anything and not think about it. It's kind of like the Cowboy Bebop quote from Spike. Just whatever happens, happens, you know. I think that's fair. I think it's a fair way to live. So it's just, you know, point of anything is just there's no point, and you just live and enjoy yourself, and whatever happens, happens. Or just I want to live, so whatever can happen, hopefully happens. I don't know. And then so that's one way to live. That's one way for anything to be anything. Another way for anything to be anything is to do something big. You're a human being. You're gonna die, and you wanna, before you die, leave your mark. You want to show people what you're capable of. You wanna help humanity develop further. Another reason to live. Another reason for anything. Religion. Believing in the aftermath. Believing in another soul. Believing whatever you want to believe in. That's fine. But just another reason to live. Just a bigger thing. And another reason for anything, entertainment. To watch things, to enjoy things, to feel emotions, whatever emotion you want to feel. To me, that's the point of living. One of those four. Or maybe all four. You know? I don't know. Overall, I think there's actually no point. But you have to believe in one of those four. Otherwise, you just go insane. That's just how it is. Because the real point is, like I said in the start, like we already have evolved so much as a species that we don't actually have to do things. Like if you grow rich, no, that's bullshit. Because people who grow rich obviously have their issues as well. But I'm talking like, let's say you grow rich in like I don't know, maybe with no family. You basically grow with dead parents and, you know, nobody from your life, and you have, I don't know, you grow up with your aunt or your grandpa or something, and they end up dying too, or you were kids, so you have no connection to them, and then you're completely free. Wait, how did I even start talking about that? What's my point? I don't even know what my point is. Oh my god. This is why I make these videos, dude, because I need to learn to make sense. What was my point in saying that? I have no idea. Anyways, the point is that there's not really much to be done left as human beings, to me, because we're already grown enough to where we can live in comfort, except for money, if you have money, at least, and not any other kind of issues, which you have. Everybody has their issues, but like in the basic form, you don't actually need to like fight aliens or like fight some big disease, because most diseases we can live through until we're old. So we just live, and you have to follow one of these to live happy, or, well, you know, consistent anxiety, I don't know. And that's all I wanted to talk about for today. These are just super random. It's just me talking about whatever comes to my head, and honestly, it feels good because I need to talk more like this, and I have nobody to talk about with these kind of topics. So thank you for listening. If you listen, if somebody listened to this, you probably thought it was cringe and that it was weird. But thanks for listening anyways, and see you tomorrow once again for the next couple years. Yes. Peace.